What movie do you absolutely refuse to watch? Why? A Serbian film and Human Centipede. Cats. Any of the 50 Shades movies. They all sound terrible. Twilight, Cuties, Saw, all of them. I think it's gross. Battlefield Earth. Seriously, humans that dress up as aliens and talk English with a listen to humans that sound like dogs. This is the worst piece of shit on earth. Anything with Steven Seagal in it. I made that mistake once, never again. That Netflix monstrosity Cuties. I have zero interest in seeing scantily clad children. That's disgusting. Slaughter Vomit Dolls. That shit is actually cursed. The Dark Tower, because it's nothing like the book. Like 90% of Netflix, because you watched. I refuse to watch any horror movies because they give me nightmares. Human Centipede. Trolls. The Human Centipede. I think it's weird. Cuties and Human Centipede. And number X200B. The reasons should be obvious. Any of the Fast and Furious films. I've never seen a minute of any of them outside of the trailers, which made me want to scoop my eyes out. Recent Disney movies. They all suck. Napoleon Dynamite. Have a good friend from college that grew up in Idaho near the area where the movie supposedly takes place. He is very loud and proud of the accurate portrayal of small-town life in Idaho. It drives him to distraction that I haven't seen it. He can't or won't let it go. His obsession amuses me on a low level, and I have sworn to never grant him satisfaction. My wife just thinks I am being petty. Can't both things be true? Anything from Marvel. Human Centipede 2. I've watched the first one, and while the visuals weren't that bad, the concept is just disgusting. I've seen people vomiting up their own shit. I don't need a movie about eating other people's shit. And Star Wars. I just don't find it interesting. Sex and the City. I couldn't make it through a single episode. No way I'm subjecting myself to a full movie. Forrest Gump. Avatar. The Last Airbender. Any movie with The Rock or Kevin Hart in it. Any film billed as a romantic comedy. In fact, as a romantic anything. I object to the very concept of romance. It's like the little voice in the back of a person's mind that when they tell somebody they love them, it yells, "Oh, yeah? Prove it." Then, why should you have to prove it? Isn't your word enough? Any 80s horror movie remake, any Tom Cruise movie, anything starring James Corden or Melissa McCarthy, any of those blatantly evangelical religious movies like God's Not Dead. I'm not religious, but I don't mind a well-made religious allegory or reference. They're powerful historically relevant myths and stories and an important part of the human experience. A capable writer can work that into a broader story and make it relevant and subtle. Those movies are not that. They're cotton candy for evangelicals. All sugar, no substance, and as deep as a kiddie pool. People that whine about Hollywood preaching at them have never had to suffer through one of these dumpster fires. Snow White and the Huntsman. I just can't stand Kristen after Twilight. Why I still haven't watched Ghostbusters Afterlife. I don't know. I just don't think anyone's going to be able to recapture the magic of the original. And it bugs me that it's trying to cash in on Stranger Things popularity. My job as a film critic, and my favorite genre is horror. I refuse to watch Cannibal Holocaust and have not refused any other horror film. Anything Transformers. Except Bumblebee, it was alright. The Twilight films. I almost gave them a chance when my family was watching it. I sat down for like 5 minutes and was so utterly disgusted by everything, especially the cringe acting and facial features when they were delivering some lines, that I noped out. I love vampires and I tried to be open-minded about new concepts, but god, that's just everything. A terrible depiction about teenage vampires, and Lycan, I suppose. Like you're immortal and you're going to high school? I feel like the apex mountain of teenage vampires is tied between Near Dark and Lost Boys. Blues Brothers 2000. Mainly because I don't want to sully my memory of the first movie. In the same vein, the Hangover sequels. I love horror, Sinister, Insidious, Hereditary, but I can't bring myself to watch any of the Saw movies, any Star Wars, any movie that will make me cry. There's enough in real life to do that, and I watch movies to be entertained. The Passion of the Christ, any of the Fast and Furious movies, the new Barbie movie coming out. Seems stupid. Titanic. The boat sinks. I don't need a 3-hour BS romance to go with it. Not a film but a series. Wednesday. I don't know what the fuck is so entertaining about it. Any movie with advertising that's shoved down my throat with clips of actors this is gonna be our best adventure yet, and narrated with things like, brought fun back to the movies, best cinematic movie of the year. I don't give a fuck about your cash grab, shitty story. A good movie should be able to subtly advertise itself. The most cursed, blighted genre of movies this century is the Fortune 500 CEO biopic. I'm not going to watch Air, I'm not going to watch The Founder, I'm not going to watch either of the Steve Jobs movies. If you ever needed proof that corporations have too much power in the modern world, think about the fact that movie studios pay tens of millions of dollars to hire the best actors and directors and screenwriters of our generation to make movies about Mark Zuckerberg or the lady who invented the Miracle Mop. Audition 1999. Romance. Because they are awful. Air Force One. Just the ones that don't interest me. The Hills Have Eyes too. The Beginning fucking wrecked me. The Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern. Nauseated face. Star Wars, and I'm not elaborating. Not a movie, but a show, Andor. They fucked up Bob F and Kenobi. I refuse to watch anything else Star Wars puts out anymore, even if people say it's good. Any movie with a cast of only minorities. They can be racist all they want, but they're not getting my money. I've just watched the Brooke Shields documentary and I will now never watch Pretty Baby or The Blue Lagoon. Not that I ever intended to anyway, but the principle of what they put her through at that age makes me avidly opposed to them. Brokeback Mountain. I'm not gay, so I couldn't relate to a gay movie. Not homophobic, just don't see the point of wasting my time. Anything starring Tom Cruise. A lot of what he makes goes directly to the Church of Scientology. They tried to recruit me once, so sadly I know a lot more about them than I wish I did. I refuse to support anything they will benefit from. Not a film movie, but a series. Stranger Things. Attack of the Clones. I only hear how bad it was. Last Jedi and Rise of a Skywalker. Any scary movie, hate them.
Star Wars, so many people tried to make me what hit, so many early started a feed with me over it. I just know I don't like this genre and such.
Anything with Shia LaBeouf in it. I refuse. Any with Brie Larson. Because of her. Anything with Jane Fonda because she is a true traitor to our nation and should have been prosecuted as such. Does it have explosions, screeching tires, bimbos, and shirtless men? That one. Any movies with Jackie Chan in it. He sold out to the PRC. Avatar 2. Didn't even finish the first one. Schindler's List to Scared of Nightmares. Every kid's movie. Joker. I don't need to spend 2 hours watching a sad, depressing film of someone getting bullied and treated like shit. 7. I'm truly sorry to have seen it. Never again. The most disturbing movie ever because it's so well made, but the story is just horribly disturbing. It's just evil. Anything with Tom Cruise or any member of Scientology in it, and yes, I've quit watching movies almost entirely. Knives Out. I know I'll take some heat for this, but after The Last Jedi I won't touch Rian Johnson's work with a 10-foot pole. No more Star Wars movies. American History X, and you know why. Harry Potter. Overrated, overhyped, and the author is a TERF. Pulp Fiction. Silence of the Lambs. The Mist. I know the ending due to a review I saw and my heart can't handle that. Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. As my brother described, it is a movie about a whiner who, instead of fighting for his life, decided to take hysterical revenge on society. Plus it has some good songs that I love and I don't want them to associate with this movie. The whole Marvel DC kerfuffle. Any Star Wars movies, trust me, I tried. Weekend at Bernie's. Any Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars stuff. Titanic. Never seen it, not intending to. Most of them, except for the occasional bonkers B-movie or foreign film, because I get bored. But I still want to find out what happens, so I'm bored but locked in. However, I will gladly sit down and watch Tokyo Gore Police or The Incredible Bulk for the millionth time. Human Centipede. To think they made more than one, damn Daredevil. I tried and I couldn't make it past the playground scene, just couldn't do it. Now anytime I see old Ben, I see Daredevil. I know this may be hard to believe when I see J-Lo. I see Daredevil red face with censoring symbols over mouth, red angry face, red face with censoring symbols over mouth, face with open eyes and mouth with head exploding, face with wide open eyes and flushed cheeks. Fargo. My mother and sister are determined to make me watch it, and this has been going on for the last probably 20 years. Now I feel like I have to keep up the resistance until I die. Titanic. Had a lot of people telling me it got boring, and I think that movie is like 3 hours. 50 Shades of Grey. Read the first book out of idle curiosity and it was absolute gash. Never gonna support that shit. I recently watched a Serbian film. Regrettable, just read a summary and save yourself the nausea. Makes Human Centipede look like My Little Pony, Passion of Christ, or Human Centipede, The Big Lebowski. My brains were boiling 15 minutes in. What the fuck is that even? Marvel, DC, mainstream superhero movies, anything starring Vince Vaughn. The Notebook. Not that it's relevant anymore, but it's got nothing for me. And Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams also have nothing I need. The Star Wars sequels, remakes, franchise films, superhero movies, CGI spectacles, anime,